damage, you said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talking, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash make it a portrait. Gun kickback, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's the matter with King? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game and shoot, what said that you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And on this incredible Tuesday, we are back, we are present, and guess who's back? Forza's back. Guess who's back? Just like that. Gotta respect it, boy. Forza Horizon 6 Day is here. It's upon us. For those people that got it early, I salute you, soldier. Like myself, with a little bit of help from Microsoft, might I add. Shout out to Xbox for doing the Lord's work. For the Lord was playing and having fun. And my drivatar is outside wreaking havoc from everything that I've heard. Good work, mini-me. But I'm going to give a shout out to Eric Von Eric. I salute you, soldier. George Parcells, what's good? Lamont Davis, Magnum Force, great to see you. Yes, sir. My guy has been working, putting in super overtime at work. Why? Because he's a responsible father, right? Might I add, he's also a responsible watcher. He watches the show. He's also KNN affiliate. So shout out to Magnum Force for doing the Lord's work. And I salute you, man. It always warms my heart to see young men taking care of their families, doing what they're supposed to do. It's a beautiful thing because, trust me, there are a lot of people that take that responsibility and don't live up to that responsibility. It's a hard thing to do, and it's definitely 100% respected, honored, and loved. So again, my brother, I salute you. Oh, who else is there? Who else is there? One Pump Man. One Pump Man. Guess who's here? It's One Pump Man. Yo, if y'all can see by the title, you understand exactly. One is in full panic mode. You have PlayStation trying to batten down the hatches, trying to rely on things that got them to where they are, not truly understanding themselves. I believe that they got rid of a lot of core individuals over at Sony. And a lot of those core individuals really understood what the brand was, what it stood for, what it meant. And I still believe that they are lost. They're like a ship at sea without a rudder. And they're trying to remember things that they've forgotten. They're trying to remember who they are and what the mission was. They're really trying to focus. And I honestly don't believe that there's someone in the building that knows exactly who they are or what they used to be. You said Sony didn't know how to go to PC. They knew. They knew how to go to PC. They weren't committed enough. What people never realize about Sony that I've been realized about Sony is they don't have the stomach for loss. In the gaming business, you got to have the wherewithal to suffer loss. If you cannot suffer loss, then you're going to be reactionary. Now, early Sony understood what loss would look like, but they had so much success out the gate that when they did have to suffer loss, they never took it well. You have to look at all the peripherals or devices that they introduced that they never truly supported once loss entered the building. The PSP, probably one of the greatest engineered handheld devices in gaming history. The Vita trumped the PSP an even greater device. Sony had the world in the palm of their hands, but one thing fundamentally that they didn't understand was, Wagwan Bounty, was that bigger didn't always necessarily mean better when it came to handhelds, right? They tried to take their winnings from the console experience and parlay that over to the handheld experience when Nintendo cultivated the handheld experience and understood the market in such a nuanced way that they were able to control the market in light of a better machine. Sony couldn't comprehend it. They couldn't stomach it. And they just did a complete drop of the tech. Might I add, to this day, bar for bar, price for price, that Vita is still top notch, right? Let's say now, if they was ever to release that Vita out and they actually did it in a way that made sense, that it was secure, because once it got jailbroke, once the PSP got jailbroke, that's where loss started to pile up. But if they ever did that, that device can actually maintain itself right now, easily, with the expertise of developers all across the world right now, with the way retro is seen. The problem is they don't suffer loss well. This is the reason why I'm betting so heavily on the fact that hashtag no PlayStation 6 is a reality. This last ditch effort to bring back exclusivity, and this is just a face type of thing, because Sony is like a diva that can't admit fault, that doesn't know how to say they were wrong, that doesn't accept responsibility for the issue. They were ultimately the issue when it went to PC. Their inability to actually play in the PC world. I was talking to Boom today, and because I'm going to be on Boom's show on Thursday, hopefully trying to make that happen. Crispy Bomb was good. Paulie Baba 2, let's make it happen. The Angry Therapist, my man, I'm pleased, honored, and grateful that you are here. I was talking to Boom. That's Mr. Boomstick SL. If you haven't subbed his channel, which, please, come on, I know you have. He has twice as many subs as me, so of course you have. Me and him was having the conversation, like we normally do, about the state of PlayStation. And this is coming from a place of seeing the history, understanding where the trajectory is. Oh, yeah. It's the alien and Olivia bringing the words of Beerus.
At Brerius507 donated $2 through Super Chat. I'm in Panama, and I'm rolling on the floor laughing emoji at Sony stupidity.
Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. With Olivia.
At Minimum FRC donated $5 through Super Chat. PlayStation has no games and the PS6 handheld might flop because it's not a PC handheld. That's
true. I salute you, Shoulder. All right, so that's, who's that? That's Kenneth Williams, 6123, member for 17 months, Soldier X rank. I salute you for repping at the highest. Thank you, brother. I brought the Forza Horizon 6 Premium Edition last night and can't wait to play it all. Blessings. I'm going to tell you that you're into a hell of a treat with that game. I saw one guy on the ROG channel actually playing it on PC at the max. Looked incredible. I'm playing it on my Series X at the time. Absolutely immaculate. I'm so happy that they left the Xbox One version in the dust. this is a truly amazing piece of work that they put together. You're going to see Japan like it really is. So when you're driving through the streets, I hope those people that got a chance to be there feel reminiscent, and the people that have never been there want to go based upon what you see. The game is a beautiful game. But you being in Panama laughing, Beerus, is crazy. And PlayStation has no games, and the PlayStation 6 handheld might flop because it's not a PC handheld. That, my friend, is their biggest problem, because what they're going to do is they're going to try to bring the console experience to the handheld. I know you're going to say, like, but King, but Xbox ROG Ally X does that, right? No, it doesn't. It's a PC handheld, right? All the things that the PC offers that handheld does, completely. Not half-assed, it's completely, right? With the ability to be a console. So it's a different entity within itself. That's exactly what we're going to see with Project Helix. Because the marketplace already told you that there's an appetite for that kind of device, right? Even if it's Steam, you have to break the Steam down in order to launch it from desktop mode. But Steam, you're able to do the same thing. The thing with the Steam Deck is the Steam Deck boots up automatically in Steam big screen mode, right? You can have your Xbox ROG Ally do that as well. I do that myself. I don't want to see any of the PC nature. But the versatility of those devices allow those devices to do everything else. And the storefront of Steam allows the Steam Deck to be as efficient as it possibly can be, because, not to lie, and this is what me and Boom talked about today as well, Windows has a lot to do in order to make a serious run at what Steam has done. See, Steam learned its losses from when they tried to enter the marketplace at the home front with the Steam machine. And what they did was cultivate the Steam storefront and turned it into a juggernaut on the PC to allow itself to have this time and see exactly what's going on. That's why the handheld is so successful. Why the Nintendo handhelds are so successful is Nintendo understood what they did best, what they did greater, and they realized by merging the handheld and the console, they ultimately can lock in both exits. You understand? Without playing to the highest degree. PlayStation doesn't understand this. That handheld that they're going to release next year, and I told Boom that handheld is coming next year. That handheld that they're going to release next year is going to be a success. It's going to be a greater success than the PC. But hear me out here. It's because that handheld is going to be the last device that they put out. This desperation move today shows me exactly where they're heading, why they're heading there, and what is that true outcome. Because they haven't ever learned. They didn't learn why their handhelds failed. The handhelds didn't fail because they were hacked. Their handhelds failed because of their mindset. Their mindset was stuck in giving the console experience to the same audience. That's not how this works. And Nintendo understands the leveraging of their IPs are their strength. PlayStation always considered themselves greater than Nintendo with lesser IPs. They don't have anything in their stable that is close to whatever Mario is. Damn sure don't have a Pokemon. Those level of IPs are ground shaking. Then you start adding in Zelda, Kirby, and all the others. Then you start to see the true separation of church and state. You see, when Sony was supposed to be cultivating their IPs, getting them to a point where they each can stand alone, it was too many chefs in the pot. With Herman Hulse doing what he's done with Guerrilla Games and with this nepotism when it comes to them making the Horizon Zero Dawn games a focal point of their strategy. And this is apropos for Herman Holtz being the face of saying their games, single player games, aren't going to be on the PC. It's apropos because his discernment when it comes to the Sony brand has always been clouded. This cloudiness brought Concord. You see, you got to look at the bodies that are laid at Herman Holtz's feet. They're monumental in the stench that they produce. And the fact that nobody else trotted this out, but they put Herman Holtz at the face of this, because when it blows up, he blows up. You understand? And it's going to blow up because they never gave PC a true shot. They never was 100% on board with placing their games to PC. You see, that's the difference between Xbox and PlayStation. You can fault Xbox for anything in this world. But what you can't fault them in is not giving it a full college try. It's cool to be less talented. It's cool to not be good as. But what you won't do is doubt their commitment. I can give you a couple of for instances. With the Kinect, they were so committed to the Kinect, they put it in the box. It had to fail completely in order for them to actually make a change. But you cannot say they didn't give it a full college try. They saw the results of the first one, placed the second one in the box to make sure that everybody had one, and gave it a full college try. HD DVD. I still got it upstairs. I still got HD DVDs now. They gave that a full college try because it was too late to implement it inside the Xbox 360. So they made a standalone device. That standalone device was an attachment. Now, had HD DVD won, we all know that Korn won, so PlayStation won. That device would have been immediately implemented. So again, the stomach for loss isn't there. The commitment to loss isn't there. Can they endure financials after financials of failure? Absolutely not. Will it be something that will force them to do something that we're talking about now? I guess people didn't expect me to even cover this because I said Jason Schreier was talking about a rumor. It was a rumor until it becomes fact. All things are rumors until they become fact. So now that this is confirmed that they had a town hall meeting, and if you're for the first time here, you don't understand exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of the audience exactly knows exactly what I'm talking about, but this is what I'm talking about, and this is what we do here. PlayStationLifestyle.net. PlayStation confirms a huge change to PlayStation 5 games going to PC, games on PC going forward. Now, let me explain for the ignorance that might be in the chat that might support this for PlayStation. Let me explain how championing this is championing demise. And this is specific because you don't understand the dire straits that the PlayStation brand is in. The numbers don't support your wants and having the inability to pivot and allow yourself to make money in a market that is the largest market in gaming, the largest expanding market in gaming, without figuring out a way to monetize that market shows your inability to adapt. And if your only recourse is to recoil from exactly the space in which you need to grow, well, that shows that you're not made for this space. That shows that your IPs aren't strong enough. You see, PC humbled PlayStation. You just wasn't who you thought you were. And the PC allows you to know exactly who you are. You see, launching your games and being successful to a larger base outside of the base that purchased your console, your stands, being able to rock outside of your ecosystem, that's where the true greatness lies. Playing to the church, to the choir, buddy, you always sound good. But again, you champion this, cool. Sony Interactive Entertainment told the staff on Monday in a town hall that it would stop releasing single-player PlayStation games on PC, Bloomberg reports, signaling a shift from the platform strategy, according to the report. The PlayStation 5 games on PC will center on multiplayer releases, while single-player franchises remain console exclusive. Sony Interactive Entertainment plans to bring multiplayer titles such as Marathon, Marvel Token Fighter to PC, but keep Ghost of Yode and future Spider-Man entries on PlayStation, Bloomberg also notes. Caution, plans could change. For now, the last single-player PC release cited are recently Death Stranding 2 and the upcoming Kenneth Scares of Kamara. Now listen, Marvel Token Fighting Souls. Marathon is a complete L, right? So that was a waste, right? They can't stomach loss. Think about it. They're so loser. They cannot stomach loss. The Sony brand is the weakest among us. If you can only be good when you play at home and you can't be good when you play on the road, well, how good are you really? You see, only champions can go on the road and win. This is the first time PlayStation is being challenged to be a champion outside of their ecosystem. And they failed miserably. You see how they tried to bully the PC into having the check-in so they can get the data for the monthly active users, and the PC rebelled? They didn't know how to respond to it. They gave a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, we sorry. Then they did it again. We sorry. You understand? They didn't know how to either accept how the PC universe works and move on from there while watching their IPs grow and exist. They didn't commit to day and date because they didn't have the resources to make that a factual thing. It's a management issue. It's not just a gaming issue. It's a systemic issue if you look at their DNA. They've always been soft and suckers. If they're not winning, if they're not up by 20, they lose. They're the weakest among us. There's no strength in them. There's no gumption in them. This is the reason why I look at them as the weakest link. And yet they really can't admit defeat. You see, the PlayStation mindset when it comes to the PlayStation fan is fostered in the same psychosopatic thing. We're going to make sure that we lock down our single player games to the PlayStation. And that's going to be a win for us because we're not going to sell as much as we would have sold. Xbox understands exactly the truth. That the shrinking market in which consoles is, the toys that in which we enjoy, isn't enough. Absolutely isn't. Learning how to make a platform, committing to it. You see, PlayStation has PlayStation Plus. They've just never committed to it. That's why it's subpar. That's why it's trash. PlayStation Plus isn't a great service. It's a trash service. Because PlayStation never cultivated the IPs in order to make it great. They never committed to it. But yet they feel the need to raise prices. The reason why they never committed to it because they don't believe in their IPs. Well, if we put the IPs free inside our service, how can we sell it to them? You just sell more service. But if we sell more service, how can we get just that big money at the one time? We can still sell half service, but sell them that game. We got to sell them that game. They haven't evolved. They're still working off of a calculator. They haven't evolved. They keep doing the same exact thing. And it's so strange to watch the PlayStation player. And it's really the stands because it's a casual machine. Okay? It's really a casual machine. You got some stands that actually will come to an Xbox channel to actually debate a chat about Xbox stuff and not knowing that they're the weakest, right? Because I don't believe that Xbox dudes go to PlayStation channels and debate PlayStation guys. I don't believe it. But I see it here constantly. PlayStation guys will show up for an Xbox show and debate because that shows a weakness of character. Why? If you're the best, feel the best. But you must know that there are cracks in the armor. You want me to show you a crack in the armor? You want me to show you how you're weak, insignificant, childish, and you understand that your company is at the brink of death? Soak it in. Soak it in. This is brought to you by GameSpot and Dyran Bolthays. I butchered the hell out of your name, bro. Darksiders War Master charges PlayStation 5 players for an upgrade Xbox already gives away for free. Darksider War Master launches on current gen and one console is getting a better deal. Why is one console getting a better deal while the other console is getting the shaft? Pause. A lack of commitment. A lack of consumer friendliness and a lack of identity. A lack of understanding that what you're growing, what you're making, ultimately is going to have to feed you later. It's the farmer mentality. You have to actually be 10 toes down. You're going to have some bad seasons. You're going to have some bad crops. But you have to have that farmer's mentality, knowing that the work that you put in is going to bear fruit. They don't have the gumption for it. If they did, we will know what Nathan Drake is doing. We would know what Twisted Metal is doing. We would know what Killzone is doing. We would know what these IPs are doing. We're having language like older IPs are now being talked about. I've been calling for SOCOM for how many years? I used to play SOCOM before. You know, when people in the building actually understood the identity of PlayStation, actually knew what they were and what they were trying to be, when they were actually looking at IPs to make IPs dope. Do you understand why I made the transition over to Xbox and never looked back? Because I understand that Gears of War, Halo, Forza, and titles like that will continue to thrive and grow. That I understood where you don't. That the mere thought of taking great older IPs like Jack and Dexter and bringing them back makes PlayStation execs vomit. What happened to Wipeout? What happened to great Sony? It's just a great void. It's a contentless box. It's a device for the casual that loves to look at Netflix. See, with stuff like this, because I have Darksiders War Master, Darksiders has returned to consoles. And this THQ Nordic has re-released the first game, War Master Edition, on PlayStation 5 and the series consoles. The good news is that if you already have it on Xbox and already own it for Xbox One, the upgrade is free and brings in native 4K rendering, 60 frames per second gameplay, and a new photo mode. The bad news is, if you're on PlayStation 5, upgrading to PlayStation 4 Edition is going to cost you $10 via Prima Games. It's worth noting that beyond the photo mode, the new current gen edition only adds a bump in resolution and frame rate, features that many game developers have added for free on their respected titles throughout the current console generation. What's going on here? Most Xbox games with upgrade paths are free as part of the console smart delivery system. Remember when Xbox was touting all these things before the console was delivered, before we got our hands on the series? Smart delivery, quick resume, all these quality of life things, all these thought out things that they committed to. They committed to taking the loss in order to take the win. You see, how you plant, how you cultivate your field will bear fruit later. If you don't tend the soil, it will never grow. They didn't tend the soil. They intended to squeeze you. They depended on your ignorance. They depend on you being as stupid as you are and continuously stay dumb by making them a priority and not an option. You see, my PlayStation 5 Pro and the PlayStation 5 base, the one that I gave my son, they're options. They're not priorities. They're just in case they do something. You understand? And that's how it should always be looked at. Because if somebody makes you an option, you never make them a priority. Do you understand? Now, I know they're counting on you saying, well, it's just $10. Right? Because if you said, well, it's just $10, that's what they counted on. Instead of saying why they got it for free. Yo, why did that guy get the same exact thing that I got, and why did he get it for free? Oh, he has another platform. They expect you to be as ignorant and dumb as you are. They expect you to be a sheep and not be paying attention. and not look over and say, damn, well, Xbox got smart delivery and they do this a lot? Not saying that. But they want you to hate the free guy. The guy that's giving you the same exact thing but did it for free. They want you to say he's doing it wrong. PlayStation. You know what PlayStation doesn't have? Forza Horizon 6. You know what the PC has? Forza Horizon 6. You know what Xbox has? Forza Horizon 6. Do you know why the numbers are going buck bananas on PC? Because Xbox is 10 toes down when it comes to the PC. They tended that failed. And it's bearing fruit. Forza Horizon 6 has launched to a greater degree than Forza Horizon 5 on the PC. And that was early opters that brought the premium. You understand? That active player count is going to grow exponentially today based upon people being able to buy the base edition, the standard, not the premium one that they flooded the market with, that they made $140 million on just over the weekend. Now it's going to run it up on these bums. The PC respects presence. The PC respects that you respect them. PlayStation never respected the PC. Therefore, PC don't respect you. But why would they respect PC? Do they have lineage in PC? Hell no. They're a toy. There's no aspirations of other than being a toy in their book. And it's sad that these guys don't really understand this. But for us guys over at Xbox, if you happen to have Game Pass, well, boy, I got a treat for you. You're looking at a game that probably, definitely, in my opinion, won't be nominated for Game of the Year, that absolutely should be. But based upon the people that are in position at the Game Awards, well, they might just come up with a whole new genre this year just to make sure that it doesn't win. But me personally, I don't give a damn. Why? Because award shows weren't never meant for a person like myself. But hey, you know what was made for a person like myself? Forza Horizon 6. And if you happen to have Game Pass, well, look at what's going on. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass, and we're going to talk about all the wonderful games that the best gaming service in video games actually is getting better. This is it. Available today, Forza Horizon 6 on xCloud, Xbox Series, and Xbox Handheld and PC. May 19th was the day of reckoning. It forces people to understand who is the unmitigated champion of these driving streets as they take it to Japan like no one else. Now, coming soon, you have Dead Static Drive that is coming to console, PC, May 20th. Now with Game Pass Premium, joining Game Pass Ultimate, PC Game Pass, Static Drive is the Grand Theft Cthulhu, an indie survival horror game following a nightmarish road trip across the 1980s. My friend Peppa Pig. If you have the kiddies, well, May 20th, you can get a chance to play that in Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, and Game Pass PC. Pigeon Simulator. If you're Mike Tyson, well, this will definitely speak to you. Mike Tyson is a notorious pigeon racer, grower, and handler. And it's coming for cloud, Xbox Series, and handheld. Coming out May 20th. The Remnant 2. Yes. Yes on top of yes. Coming out to PC, Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, PC Game Pass, May 20th. May 20th seems to be a stacked day. Winter Burrows comes out May 20th. Now Game Pass Premium, joining Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass PC. Lunar Abyss, May 21st, Game Pass Ultimate, PC Game Pass. Available day one on Xbox Game Pass. Lunar Abyss is a narrative-driven first-person action adventure with fluid platforming and bullet-hell combat. You play as Fawkes, a prisoner condemned to explore the derelict megastructure that sprawls across the deeps beneath the surface in a mimic moon Luna. Guided by artificial warden Alia, you descend into the Colossus, crumbling megastructure known as the Abyss, a world of lost technology, alien ruins, and cosmic horror. Escape Simulator. That sounds like fun. I don't want to do escape rooms. No. May 26th, Game Pass Ultimate. Echo Generations 2. This is what I'm waiting for. I played Echo Generations 1, and I played that in Game Pass, and I found a game that I absolutely love. It was so dope that that game took on the role of brother looking after sister with friends, and it had a Stranger Things type of feel to it. I absolutely love Echo Generations. I cannot wait to play Echo Generations. On May 27th, I'll be able to do that. And that's day one with Xbox Game Pass. Do you see the difference in services? Do you see the difference in putting the player first? Do you see the difference in cultivating the field in order for it to bear fruit? And knowing your identity and believing in your program and believing, you have to believe. If you don't believe in your product, how can anyone absolutely accept your product? Because you believe in your service, it will become the best because you're putting 110% into it. Not one of you PlayStation fans can tell me that the PlayStation is actually believing in PlayStation Plus. They don't believe in it. Because if they did, a lot of games wouldn't have died. You're watching Marathon bleed out right in front of you. Instead of taking Marathon and placing it in PlayStation Plus, growing the sub count, making sure that everyone there is allowed to play that game while still offering it for sale. But if you have 120 something million subs, and I'm pretty sure most of those is on PlayStation 4, but if you have that amount of subs, why not give it that college try? Why watch IPs die? Why isn't that an option? You let Concord die after 11 days to cut off your nose to spite your face, to say that this is a failure, not acknowledging that your pipeline, your structure, and your infrastructure was broken, not acknowledging your faults, but not taking blame, not accepting blame. There's no accountability that you're the absolute problem. You failed in PC, you failing on your services. Oh, yeah. It's the alien and Olivia, and we back. It's me, the broke boy.
At It's Me the Broke Boy donated $2 through Super Chat. PlayStation believes in making money from PS Plus.
Who's to say they wouldn't make money with being 100% in? I appreciate the Super Chat, but you're comparing it to Game Pass, where it's absolutely no comparison. Game Pass makes more money and is a better service. It's been proven. Don't make excuses for PlayStation's inability to place you as the customer at the center of what they're trying to do. Pulling back from PC is at their detriment because they didn't place it on PC out of happenstance. They placed it on PC because it wasn't selling. You're still not addressing the issue. The issue was never the PC. The issue was your inability to sell your titles to your core base that forced you to PC. But your inability to crack that, and you can't accept that that's not a reality. Oh, we're going to take it back. You didn't like it? Why don't you make it better? Why don't you make your games not as buggy as you did? Why didn't you respect that DRM? Why didn't you respect how PC rolls? Why didn't you adapt to the PC structure in order to make it successful? So you still won't sell games on the PlayStation. And now you're not selling. Oh, it's the alien and Olivia. And it's me, the broke boy. He's back again.
It's me the broke boy donated $2 through Super Chat. Believe in making money, not doing anything with it.
That's true. Because if they were making money and reinvesting it back into the product, I think that works. But I can see your point. See, okay, so there's a difference between making money and overspending sometimes. I believe they overspend when they went to Bungie, right? I believe that was a knee-jerk reaction in getting Bungie because they were looking for a quick fix. That's how you can understand that they're never organically grown in anything. Everything has always been a quick fix, but the problem still remains. They never address the issues. And that's the biggest problem with them. You have to look at the pain points of your company in order to understand what is necessarily in order to fix it. But hold on, let's get to this. The Outer Worlds Space's Choice Edition. Shout out to the Outer Worlds. I actually got that gifted to me and I actually love it. That's coming out on May 27th. Crash Out Crew. That looked funny. That's coming out on May 28th. Available with day one on Game Pass. You see, it's these titles that are available day one with Game Pass that actually changes the whole narrative of how Game Pass is perceived over the PlayStation Plus service. That commitment, that whole pipeline, and going to make sure that ID at Xbox is running how it's running, making sure that you're getting these indie games day and date inside Game Pass, giving them a bag, making sure that they're able to survive. So that when it's super successful, because you got a lot of Game Expedition 33, you got a lot of Game of the Year nominees that were inside Game Pass, those day and date, those games, the day ones, that when they do make their next game, look who gave me a shot. Look who did that. Ariel Knight, my guy, put his game inside Game Pass. Love him. Drop shot, beautiful. I absolutely love that because I know that he made the game. I know that he got the bag. I know that the people are checking his game out. You see, indie developers need that love. And focusing on making it a big thing while also enhancing it and showing them not only do we believe in the service because we put our day ones in there, we believe in it. So how can you pitch something to somebody else that you don't do? How can PlayStation Plus tell indie, yo, put your game in here day one? Well, why the hell you don't do it if you believe in it so much? You can't tell them because you don't do it. Oh, we have the number one platform. No, sir. That's Nintendo. You don't even have the number one service, sir. Are you having an episode, sir? Kabuko Park, the 28th, available day one with Game Pass. Final Fantasy, I think that's 6. And we're going into June. I'm not going to go to June. I'm going to leave June out of it. But for the month of May, Xbox Game Pass is showing you the value that the company puts forth by placing their titles day and date while looking for commitments from third parties day and date. By having big Capcom titles like Pathway of the Goddess launch inside Game Pass. It's these abilities to go to these developers and say you believe in your product so much that you place yourself into your product. And then looking at how you structure your product by your placement, not trying to harm other games while enhancing it. Knowing that if you satellite your game around other games, that there will be a greater emphasis on those games growing. It takes marketing, it takes planning, it takes strategy. It takes commitment, it takes balls. Sony's been neutered a long time ago. They're a ballless cat just walking around the house, scratching at what used to be there. They used to be ballsy, bro. Pause. They used to be edgy. They used to be them guys. They used to be. It was a time. Oh, yeah. The alien is back with my girl Olivia. And what's that?
At RetroRich 3679 donated £5 through Super Chat. Other than Game Pass, it's the free features like Cloud Save Sync that make me still play on my Xbox in my living room, even though I play on PC more.
And that's the respect factor there. Because it's the added services that allow you to versatility with the machine, right? You are able to be on your PC, then you're able to take that cloud save and just, parlay that over to your console. Or if you have an Xbox ROG Ally handheld, and do that. It is the foresight and the commitment. They committed to cloud. They committed to Xbox Play Anywhere. They committed to Game Pass. They committed to PC. They committed to the ecosystem. Even at looking at loss. Look at this. Asha comes back and says, we are committed to stabilizing Generation 9. We are committed to the platform. We are committed to hearing you and focusing on making it better. FanFest comes back, which is crazy because it's going to be here in a couple of weeks. And they start player voice. You know what the number one thing in player voice, and this is brought to you by Pure Xbox and Fraser Gilbert. Xbox fans share their top 10 requests after day one of player voice feedback. Look at the list. Exclusives, backwards compatibility. Now, the back compatibility program has been reinitiated in some form or fashion with the rumor of physical to digital. I have some reservations about that. Make online multiplayer free to access with conversations about that. Oh, go Alien and Olivia. I really like Olivia. I ain't gonna hold you. Olivia helps me out tremendously.
Chick33 donated $5 through Super Chat. Sony used to be fierce, now ponies gobble it from the back for Xbox games. King, you see Harada going to SNK? So sick.
Yo, I'm going to talk about that SNK stuff. I was going to save it for Fight Night Friday. The fact that SNK is making movements, a whole new studio, that's letting you know that Neo Geo's going to be buck crazy. We're going to get new cartridges. Yo, if y'all not on board with that Neo Geo, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, maybe you're a younger gamer, you don't know the significance, and maybe you're an older gamer that didn't get a chance to get it the first time when it came around. Well, it's back, baby. $250. You can't beat that with a baseball bat. That right there is a premium Grand Theft Auto 6. That's a joke. But to have that for that is great. Figure it out, guys. Figure it out. It's a renaissance, if you will. And great things always have great runs, and sometimes they're great the second time. But achievements, more improvements. So we know that so far, backwards compatibility, make multiplayer online free, that has been talked about. Fixing achievements, that's being worked on. I'm in the preview program on Xbox Insider. I can tell you it's looking nice. Xbox Game Pass Family Plan. I don't think so. Remember, they tried it in other regions of the world. I don't think it went well. I don't think so. Allow disc-based games with Project Helix. That's a huge concern with me because my PC doesn't have a disk drive. I remember the first time, because I had been away from PC for a while, and when I got my PC, I was looking for a disk drive, I swear to God, for some reason. Not like I had disk. But yeah, it was like that. And I was like, what? And now I'm like, huh? Really? Seriously? It's kind of crazy. I hope they figure that out. The return of Xbox avatars. It used to be dope. It was a small way for them to monetize us in order to make our avatars look crazy. But really, where was we using our avatars at? We needed Rare, because Rare was in charge of that. We needed Rare before they made it big with Sea of Thieves to continue to cultivate avatars so we can place them and do things with them. It just sucks that in this era, nobody has did a hub in which we all can log into, walk around with our avatars, and do different things. How about go to a movie theater with your avatars, actually walk there, ride there, drive there, actually go to a basketball court, get into a full-fledged game with other gamers. Having Avatar World inside Game Pass and connecting gamers all across the world to be as social as possible, that can take avatars to a whole new level. Your drip will be crazy. There's ways to make things, and there's ways to make things great. But exciting minds want to do these things. And they got to be talking to the right people to get that vision and commit 100% to these visions. Remember PlayStation Home? I love PlayStation Home. I loved inviting friends over to check out my house in PlayStation Home, which is no longer there. I thought it was a win-win. And then they started talking about NFTs and all this other stuff, and you'll be able to buy digital art and place it, that one-of-a-kind art inside your house. I was looking forward to that. That was the only thing that made me actually look at NFTs, non-fungible, tokens, but coins, but allowed me to believe that there was something that was possible. I brought in on the lie. You don't remember when Sony committed to NFTs? Only to watch it crumble because they didn't commit to whatever the project was? Yo, go Jesse, blessings. That's what's up.
At Jessadabi 1591 donated $2 through Super Chat. Love you, King, in a brotherly kind of way.
Blessings. I am my brother's keeper. No matter what. I mean, we can have a different opinion when it comes to console. I don't care. I'm just seeing through the veil. But I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Trust me. Because I am my brother's keeper. I don't do this out of no love. I do this for absolute love. HDR dashboard. That'll be dope. That will be dope. All right, lower the price of the systems. Of course, that will be up there. I don't think corporate greed will allow that. Allow Xbox to record voice chats and clips on my console. Oh, okay. So when you put your clips, you're able to narrate over your clips. I think that's a problem because your clips are broadcast, right? So then you're asking the AI to listen to your broadcast. And if you're cursing in your broadcast, you're risking banning, right? Because your broadcast, because the way that they're pinning your clips now, you can pin them up, highlight them. So I don't know if it violates terms of service. in some extent, if somebody is, you think about all the nefarious things that can actually be done. I think, and of course, I mean, I don't think that would ever happen. But exclusives. Let me tell you why. When we say exclusives, what Xbox guys mean, we mean F PlayStation. Right? That's what we mean. That's what it means. That's all it means. We're not talking about taking it away from PC. We understand that PC is necessary in order to survive. It is the largest gaming market. Get out of yourself, boy. Pause. Stop believing that you're greater than the program. No one is greater than the program. You're just a name and a number. And there have been other players that have been greater than you that have went on to pastor. So, again, no one is greater than the program. Get with the program or get on. When Xbox talks about exclusives, we talk about F PlayStation, not PC. In order to grow, you got to make it over there. Like, PC is like New York. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, baby. But if you're playing in Idaho in the back and you sell out crowds over there in Idaho, yeah, that's cool. You ain't no Michael Jackson or nothing. You all right, but you ain't no Elvis Presley. You nice. But you ain't no Beyonce. You understand? You're just a folk hero in a clown town. In the back. You're not doing it like you think you're doing it. Just because you get the local chicks that fall for your bullshit don't mean that you nice like that. Don't mean that you really spit game. You spit game to PC and they spit back at you. You got taken for all you was worth. You didn't pick yourself, dust yourself off and get right back at it. You picked yourself up, took your basketball and got off the court. You're a sucker. When we say don't put it on PlayStation, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. They're not worth it. They don't buy games. They don't respect the culture. F them. You can sell without them. You got PC. You got the largest market in the world that Forza Horizon 6 is on today and Xbox Game Pass. You got the ace in the hole where they will never. Because you tended the field. You cultivated the brand. And now you get a chance to bear and eat the fruit. This is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. If you learned anything here today, you learned that what? Sony ain't got no balls. Pause. And you also learned the alien is back. It's the alien, and it's back with Olivia.
At Texas donated $5 through Super Chat. Salute King. Did you peep at Xbox marketing on their Instagram? Xbox Series Glizzy. Asher hit you and the Lords up for marketing advice?
You know how many people bothered me with that Xbox Glizzy? Do you know? I gotta give a shout out to Hamish. Bro. He DM'd me it. I showed my wife, she just laughed. This is seriousness now. I think she's targeting me. It's bad business, son. All because of COG. This is all COG's fault. But I want to thank each and every last one of you for showing up today. I truly appreciate it. If you're an Xbox fan, well then welcome home. If you're a PlayStation fan, you're absolutely welcome to sit here and witness greatness. Because I understand that PlayStation channels just don't give you exactly what you need. And you have to come here to get that itch. Ah, gotcha. But I want you to go where everybody's going today. I want you to go where game is game and win is win. And what is it? It's the Game Pass bag, baby. Try to play the Game Pass. Yeah, but before you go do that, I told you I'm the unmitigated champion of this. And if you got anybody that's better than me, then put them up.
What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game, but shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talking, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game, but shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?